Hello and good day. Today we will be discussing an example of a technological tool that we can use in mathematics teaching. Specifically, we will be looking at these two competencies taken from the Mathematics Grade 9 Curriculum Guide of the Department of Education. These two competencies are the learner illustrates angles of elevation and angles of depression. The learner uses trigonometric ratios to solve real-life problems involving right triangles. As you can see, we have three asterisks which suggest for ICT enhanced lesson when available and where appropriate. I get this picture from a Facebook post of my friend. He is demonstrating the use of a tool in solving real-life problem involving angle of elevation. This tool is called a clinometer. The one we saw earlier is an improvised or a makeshift clinometer. Now, this is an example of a commercial clinometer. This tool is used to measure the angle of elevation or angle from the ground in a right-angled triangle. You can also use a clinometer to measure the height of tall things that you cannot possibly reach to the top. Example, flagpoles, buildings, and trees. Now, it is very important sa aton as mathematics teacher to encourage our students to solve real-life problems. That is why amo ni siya ang competency naton. Paano naton matudlo sa estudyante ang trigonometric functions or ratios to solve a real-life problem. Now, let us take this for example. This picture shows nga there is a person standing, tapos may ara siya nga nga gusto niya i-measure. Now, if you can see, this person is actually using an improvised clinometer. Okay? So, ginasolve niya ang height ng building. Actually, we can solve this using tangent, no? From the angle mag-inform sang person sa A, ini siya ho. Dali lang gid. Okay, so this one, ang ining angle, ang gina-form niya, this is opposite over adjacent. Since ang adjacent naton is given siya by 60 meters, then therefore we can solve kung pila ni siya ang aton nga opposite by using tangent. Okay, so let us discuss this more in detail. Okay, so we are going to solve this problem. So, ang first naton nga tanawon is ano ang aton nga mga given. So, first we are given ang ining angle, 24 degrees, and one side, which is the adjacent side, nga 60 meters. So, kung tanawon naton ni, since this is a right triangle, so muna siya ang aton nga ginapangita nga side, ang B to C. Okay? So, masolve ni sa naton using tangent. Okay? So, since ang tangent is opposite over adjacent, so since given nakita sang 24 degrees, we can use tangent. Okay? So, ang distance or ang height from B to C is given by this equation. Okay? So, tangent 24 degrees times 60 meters is equal to 26.71 meters. However, ang atong nga ginapangita diri is the distance from B hasta diri sa may ground. So, therefore, ang halin diri, pakadto diri, is i-add lang nato ang height sang viewer naton which is 1.5 meters. So, all in all, ang height sang tree is 26.71 meters plus 1.5 meter is 28.21 meters. Now, going back sa instrument nga ginagamit sa mga bata kagina, this is what they are using. So, a protractor, then this a solid black line, ini siya, that's going downward, acts like a plumb bob. Okay, the parehas na ulas ang ginagamit sa mga panday, so it will always stay downward. So every time i-move nila or i-tilt ni siya ang protractor, may reading ni siya nga makuha. Okay, so this is basically how ang clinometer naga-work. Now, kung i-tilt ni siya sa estudyante, so duwa ni siya ang ga-operate sini. So, ang isa will be the viewer. So ngubraw niya sini ini siya. This is one student ang ma-view sini looking sang target nila sang height or the topmost portion sang gina-measure nila, while the other person is looking sang reading naton. Now, based sa sini clinometer, sa pag-incline nila sang ilang protractor or sang clinometer nila, ang angle nga makuha naton is from this side to the plumb bob. Okay? Now, ang makuha naton nga reading is 70 degrees. However, ang ginapangita naton is the angle of elevation. Okay? Now, since kagina ang aton nga reading is 70 degrees and we are actually looking for the angle of elevation, which means ang aton nga angle of elevation is actually ari diri. Now, in order to solve this one, this is actually the complementary angle sang aton nga reading, okay? Which is 20 degrees. Now, the question is, paano siya nga nag 20 degrees? It is because sang kagina ang aton nga protractor ari diri nga plane. Okay? So ari siya diri nga plane. So ang 70 degrees is actually halin diri pakadto diri. Now, since ang ini pakadto diri sa aton nga plumb bob, naga-form siya sang 90 degrees. So therefore, if this is 70 degrees, ang remaining naton nga angle is 20 degrees. So two parallel lines cut by this transverse line. Okay, so we have two alternate interior angles. So if this is 20 degrees, it means this is also 20 degrees. So that is how nga paano na to nakita kagina nga paano siya na to nabalaan nga complementary ni siya. Okay, so in short, para dasig sa estudyante naton mag-solve sang aton nga angle of elevation, ang atong ginaobra is ang reading naton diri nga makuha 90 degrees minus sang reading, amo na siya ang aton nga angle of elevation. In this example, ang aton nga angle of elevation is, ang aton nga reading is 70 degrees. So therefore, ang angle of elevation is just 90 minus 70. So kung aton nga reading is 50 or aton nga reading is 40, so 90 minus 40, therefore ang aton angle of elevation is 50 degrees. Okay? Now, we will try to see kung nakuha ninyo. So I will show you some exercise na isolve naton ang aton nga angle of elevation. Now, we will try to see kung nakuha ninyo. May-ari ko din ipakita sa inyo. I-tilt ko ni siya ang protractor, then you will try to guess kung ano ang aton nga angle of elevation. Okay? So, for example, amo ni siya ang aton nga inclined subong. So, we have here the viewer, then yung tanaw niya ang top sang building. The question is, what is our angle of elevation? So I will give you 10 seconds to answer this one. Timer starts now. Okay, so time is up. So the correct answer is 40 degrees. Now, as a challenge, we are going to solve for the height of the tower given the following condition. First, the height of the viewer is 1.8 meters. The distance of the viewer from the tower is 20.09 meters. Given the reading from the clinometer, solve the height of the tower. Feel free to pause the video. Your final answer should be a whole number. The correct answer is 57 meters. What I showed you is the use of an improvised clinometer. Since we already know the basics on how to manipulate and how to interpret the reading of your improvised clinometer, there is a mobile application for this tool. To download, go to your Google Play or to your iPhone App Store. For Android users, open your Google App Store, then click search for apps and games, then you type in protractor. Now from the options, you select smart protractor. Now after downloading and installing the app, this will be now the screen of your mobile device. This is now your protractor. Now, what is good with this app is you do not need to find for the complement of the angle or the reading. The angle of elevation is located at the upper part, while the complement is in the lower part. Now, once you tilt your mobile device, amo na siyang imo nga makita nga screen. Now, nag-move ni siya ang aton nga pointer as we tilt our mobile device. Tapos, if you could see, may nag-blink ni siya nga holding. Nagagwa ni siya if i-touch nimo ang screen, tapos steady nimo imo tudlo. Hindi mo siya pag i-move, nagagwa ni siya ang word nga holding. Meaning, kung naga-focus ka diri, nagatanaw ka diri sang tip sang object nga imo gina-measure ang angle of elevation, tapos i-touch nimo ang screen without removing your finger, magwa na siyang holding, kag ang ining pointer hindi ni siya mag-move, which gives you the angle of elevation. So what is good with this is bisan ikaw lang isa, pwede ka mag-operate sang imong clinometer. So that's it. So I have just presented to you the clinometer nga pwede ninyo himuon kung wala ang estudyante sang mobile device. It is still considered a technology nga pwede mapaproject sa estudyante, and at the same time an alternative kung ang estudyante may ara sang mobile device, you can download the app ang protractor. Now the same man siya ang paggamit sang mobile application is the same sa paggamit sang clinometer nga improvised. Now we will be discussing the advantages of smart protractor. Okay, so first, does not need internet connection. You will be only needing the internet connection once gin-download mo siya. After na-download mo siya, kag na-install mo siya sa imong cellphone, hindi na siya actually kinahanglan sang internet to operate. Second, easy to install and use. Pag-click mo install, automatic pwede mo na siya magamit. And the use of the smart protractor is almost the same sang paggamit sang improvised nga clinometer. Now, what is also good with this smart protractor is this one. It can be operated by single student compared didto kagina sa improvised nga clinometer in which duwa gid sila ang magamit. Ang isa ang nagatan-aw sa site, siya ang nagatanaw sang tip sang object nga gina-measure ang angle of elevation. Ang isa naman niya ang nagatanaw sang angle no nga nakwa. At the same time, medyo budlay siya kay makwa ka pa sang complement niya, while ang smart protractor ya isa lang katao ang pwede magamit. At the same time, gina-display na niya ang iyang angle of elevation. And the last is it is handy. Kay pwede na siya mabit-bit-bit sa estudyante, mabutang siya cellphone, compared sa improvised nga ang iban ginabutang sa folder, although good man siya sa mga schools nga wala sang privilege nga ang mga estudyante makabakal sang mobile device. So that's it. So I had introduced you to technological tools that we can use in mathematics instruction, specifically in teaching this competency. So thank you very much and have a good day.